Good afternoon. I am Sock Marionette, doing business as bargain counter argument. I'm a middle-aged lady in a tiara, talking about books and hosting a live stream. Uh, so looks like we've got somebody here already. Cool. Good afternoon. How's it going? I am. I had everything all set up and everything, and then at the last minute, goofy stuff started happening. So a little verklempt, but basically okay. I'm working on my vlog. I um I started it on Monday and then I kind of just dropped it yesterday. So I've been working on it a little bit today. So I'm actually filming a vlog while I'm talking to you. So you'll see this clip twice if you watch that vlog. But I'm going to turn it off now because I don't want to hog all my power and space. Okay. Ana's here. And she says, "Oh, that's a beautiful dainty tiara. Thank you. This was a birthday present from Kristen Lee, Never Ending TBR in Kristen's Corner. She sent me some nice stuff, including this tiara. I just recorded a video. I think it was on Monday. I recorded a video or maybe it was yesterday, where I was talking about, yeah, it was Monday. Yeah, you need to watch me think about these things. I recorded a video where I talked about all the lovely gifts I got and all the lovely well wishes I received. I haven't edited that. I'm probably going to put it, excuse me, up tomorrow, or what's that other day that's not tomorrow? Friday. Yes, I got this. I got this. I know what's what. So I got my cold beverage. This is it's that flavor. It's a flavor packet that I put in water. It's called Jamaica, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. This is got some hibiscus in there and such like, but I don't know what all else. But it's tasty. I like it. So today is I have a lot more energy today than I did on last week. As you can see, I'm like dressed. I'm not in bed in my nightie. Not that there's anything wrong with that. More power to you if that's what you're up to today. Ana says, I have a zero sugar A&W. Nice. And so I have more energy today, and I have some stuff to do. I went to a library sale over the weekend. I went up to Newington here in Connecticut and got some stuff. So I'll be sharing that later. And I'm actually going to be moving some books. And so on. But first, 10 minutes of yuck. Yes, the 10 minutes where we do the stuff that, where at least that's what I do. I do stuff that I don't want to do for more than 10 minutes, usually revolving around housework. Ooh, says Ana, new books. Yes, new books indeed. She says, I'm working on planning a rearrangement for my shelves. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I actually planned the rearrangement already, and I'm going to be doing the execution. Are you talking about your bookshelves or your pantry shelves, or anyway? Yeah, so I have the plan. I'm going to work on executing it during the sprints, but first, during the 10 minutes of yuck, I promised Mom Marionette that I would do the lunch dishes. So we had a garden salad, and we had some leftover Franks and beans, turkey Franks, which when we had it originally, she chopped them into little bite-sized discs and sauteed them in a pan because she likes to get a nice kind of saute on them before she puts them into the baked beans. That's the kind of beans we had with those baked beans. So that was just leftover, so we just heated it, ate it with the salad, and got one more thing out of the fridge. Got one more meal out of those Franks and that can of beans. So I promised her that I would do the dishes during the 10 minutes of yuck. So I'm going to go do that once I've set up the timer. Ana says, I have dishes to do as well. I made an assortment of Mexican food for Taco Tuesday. Oh, nice. And I passed out before doing the dishes. Taco Tuesday will sometimes do that for you. Let's see. What did I do this morning? I haven't done a whole lot of housework this morning. I brought in the bins, the trash and recycling bins. Mom Marionette took them out yesterday afternoon. And this morning, they collected the trash very early, but the recycling was a little later. So I was just kind of lounging around, cozy maxing until I heard them pick it up. And then I ran out and brought them in. That's about what I did for housework. like I said, I was recording a vlog and I edited some of that, but mostly I was just kicking back. But now I'm ready to get stuff done. So let's see. It is, oh, okay, cool. We can do our 10 minutes of yak until 1/4 past the hour. Sprinting until 00:15. And I'm going to put you on mute and I'll see you in 10. And we're back. I still don't have the microphone that my sister sent me for my birthday set up. She sent me a lavalier mic, and I just haven't gotten around to setting it up. It's one of those things where they say plug and play, and for some people, I'm sure it is plug and play. But for somebody like me, I need a little more work. I started to set it up yesterday, and when it didn't work instantly, I know there's nothing wrong with it. It's an operator error, but I just didn't feel like fiddling with it. And I see Anna left a comment just before I muted, so I thought I'd save that for when we came back. I did do the dishes, and I got some of the books moved that I was going to work on today. Oh, and Stacy also joined us during the sprint. Hello, Stacy. Now back to Anna's comment from before. I decided to decorate this year, so I've been slowly trying to find inexpensive vintage looking decor and switching out my bookshelves and the cluttering. Well, let me know either here in the comments or DM me or something what kinds of things you're looking for, because I've been going to a lot of vintage and thrift stores. And yesterday I went to one called Pandemonium, and I can't show you anything that I got because people who are watching this now or maybe watching it later who are on my shopping list will be spoiled. But they bagged it up for me in this Tinkerbell bag. That is Tinkerbell, isn't it? I don't know my Disney people, so, but I'm pretty sure that's Tinkerbell, I believe. Okay, that's Stacy saying hello. And Anna's saying, I got some of my dishes done, but the plates need soaking. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I actually, we sort of I tossed everything in the sink while I was getting ready for the live stream and let it soak. And that was enough. Most of them I had to do by hand. The silverware and the bowls could go into the dishwasher, but like the pot and these other things and some of my coffee mugs that are just too useful to have them tied up in the dishwasher. I have no decorations. I just bought a small set of bottle cleaner Christmas trees and some small ceramic houses. Okay, well, let me know what your aesthetic vibe is, or if it's just vintage or vintage looking. And like I said, I'll keep an eye out and see what I can do. I want to collect a village eventually, but I know it will take time. Well, when I was out and about yesterday, I saw some flatwood blocks with stuff painted on them. I mean, they're probably about 3/4 of an inch thick, and they have like, you know, the church and some houses and like the town hall and stuff. I saw those yesterday while I was out and about. If that's the kind of thing you're interested in, let me know. I can hook you up. No problem. Okay. While I was at there is one other thing I can show you that I got at the thrift store. Now, this thrift store is pretty cool. It's in Deep River, Connecticut. It's called Pandemonium, and they are a habitat for jungle birds. They have like a greenhouse or something, and they generally rainforest birds. They generally support rainforests. So the proceeds from the thrift store and the cafe and donations go to supporting the habitat, and then anything left over goes to overall rainforest conservation measures, charities. And so that's Pandemonium. And when I was there, oh wait, there's another comment. I'll send you pictures of what I have up so far. Great, thank you so much. Then I'll have an idea of what I can look for. When I was there almost a year ago, last December, they have like they have different rooms. It's an old building. They have different rooms. They have like where the main room, and then there's a downstairs area that has household goods, craft supplies, and so on. And they have a kids room. And I looked they had some Raggedy Anns all over the place. And I was like, oh, they're nice enough, but they're not the cutest. And then down in the basement, there's a little corner where they have like the crafting supplies that people donate. And I found a Raggedy Ann, and I brought her home with me. This is Raggedy Ann Pandemonium. She has bloomers, and they're kind of scandalous. Okay, for some reason her bloomers are on upside down. I'm gonna have to fix this off camera. She's so embarrassed. Anyway, so Raggedy Ann Pandemonium, and she's like my crafting mascot because she was in the craft supply section. Well, when I was there yesterday, I looked in the crafting room, and there wasn't anybody, and I didn't see anybody in the kids' room or whatever. And however, in the Christmas part, they had this bunny. This is the kind of bunny my mom calls them bunny dollies because they're kind of like dolls and they're kind of like bunnies. And so I brought her out to the car where my mom was waiting, and then we're driving along because I was driving. My mom's like got her in her lap, and my mom realized something. She doesn't have a left arm, and she never did. There's like no spot where it would have been attached. So we're wondering if she was maybe originally created for somebody who had a similar issue. But anyway, she seems to be doing just fine without that extra arm. So, and she doesn't have a name yet, but we already had Quality Whatnot Bunny Dolly and Top Notch A1 Bunny Dolly. So we're thinking that she might be like Super Duper Bunny Dolly or something like that. Fabulous Super Duper Bunny. Who knows? Hey, hey, says Kristen Lee. Hey, hey, check it out. Check out that tiara. It's so lightweight, I can forget I'm wearing it. Ah, Gwen is here. Hey, let me get my glasses. Hi, spent my time setting up my cozy corner heating pad, e-blanket, and space heater. Ooh, that does sound very cozy. It is a great day for cozy maxing. She is beautiful, says Ana. Stacy says, I love that bunny. My aunt made those for each of the grandkids with dresses using material from my grandma's clothes after she passed. Nice. So that's that and the Tinkerbell bag that my purchases are in are really the only thing that I can show you people. Sorry. But I can show you some books. These are not separated by genre. They're just on the cart. So if you want to see those now, we can look at some books or we can go into a 30-minute sprint, whatever. I guess you're going to want to see at least some books before we go into a lengthier sprint. I would love to see some books, says Ana. Ana's like, why do you think I'm here? Gwen's like, books. And so is Stacy. Everybody's like, why else are we here if not for books? One day I'm going to run out of books to haul. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just start over at the beginning and see if anybody notices. Okay. Highland Wolf by Lindsay Sands. Woo-hoo-hoo. He's a Highland Wolf. And it's true what they say about Scottish men. They have very broad backs. It's not a setback, but I'm not mad about that. Snickers, says Ana. Let's see. Also in the mass market department, I didn't get a whole lot of mass markets. This one I didn't notice until just now. Their mass markets for like $1, which is kind of pricey for a library sale. I mean, I did get a few. I just now looked at this one and realized it has like 3 different orange stickers, which means that it has been through the rounds at the Book Barn in Niantic. However, I got it at the Newington library sale. I'll take those off later. Abby Jean sent me for my birthday, among other nice gifts. She sent me some Undo, which is like a little solvent that you use for removing adhesive. So I'll play with that later. Anyway, this is Obsession by Penelope Neri. I have another book by Penelope Neri that takes place in like 1066, 1067, just after the Norman invasion. And I think this one's actually Regency, slightly warped. So I need to put it underneath some heavy items to maybe straighten it out. And I don't know what to do with these. Okay. Also, this one, The Secret Life of Miss Anna Marsh by Ella Quinn. This is a standard mass market. This one's just a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. It's also, sorry about that, it's also warped. So I need to put it under something heavy. It's not as warped as it was when I got it because I put it under heavy objects. Hopefully I can get this thing less warped. But anyway, it's pretty long. It's slightly over 500 pages. I believe it is a Regency based on her outfit. I love all the blue and gold on this cover. It's just really, really spoke to me. I think there's only Only one more mass market. It's a Harlequin Presents from August of 2003. This is by Carol Mortimer, and I enjoy her work. And it's called An Enigmatic Man. And it's another one that was kind of a cover by, kind of an author by, but I really liked this cover. Again, it spoke to me. That's very, it's very Wuthering Heights. You've got this huge landscape and the people are very, very small. And it was just like, wow. Okay, so this is like forced proximity in the middle of nowhere kind of a deal. But I mean, just that cover, you don't normally see that in a category romance. And it's Carol Mortimer. So those are the mass markets. I think yeah, I'm going to do a couple more books. This is the best of Michael Moorcock, who's a British science fiction and fantasy author and editor. This is short stories by him. It's, yeah. And it says, that's a very pretty background. Looks cold and calm to me. Yeah. It's like I said, it just kind of has this, like, it's just so unusual for a Harlequin Presents. This big landscape and these two tiny figures who are embracing in profile, but I had to like really look at it to say, are they in profile or do they have their backs to us? They're in profile. But it was just like, oh, wow, that's very unusual. And I really, really like it a lot. Let's see, adding to my Stephen King collection, another book by him that I've read. I think I've read pretty much all of them by him. The Outsider. This is a, I think Holly Gibney wanders through this one. Maybe. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've read it. And I've been meaning to reread it. And now I have my own copy to facilitate that. Of course, once I have my own copy, it's almost like, oh, well, I don't have to read it right away and get it back to the library. So maybe it won't get read at all. Okay, so let's see. Historical fiction, biographical fiction. The Other Windsor Girl by Georgie Blaylock. That would be Princess Margaret. So that would be the late Queen Elizabeth's younger sister. She was the aunt of the current king. Let's see. I don't know what to expect. But we have The Wildest Heart by Rosemary Rogers. Rosemary Rogers had quite the reputation, and I don't know if she got better as the years went on. Oh, maybe maybe it doesn't matter because this is a 2011 reissue of a 1974 book. So who knows? No Man Can Tame Her. So 1974. This is late 19th century, and we're starting in India, which is when the British Empire was running the show there. Poorly. The ever-expanding, never-shrinking TBR. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like a wave. Peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. Let's see. I'm not even sure what exactly this is. It's a YA, and it looks like it's two books in one volume. The Fallen and Leviathan by Thomas E. Snigoski. Let me show you his name. You can... Anyway, mine is a mountain that just keeps going up. Well, when I talk about peaks and valleys, I'm talking about like how quickly I read. I was just talking about this in my for my vlog this morning that'll be up whenever, I don't know. It might end up being several days. I mean, the vlog might encompass several days. As soon as I'm done with it, I'll post it. I'm not on a schedule with that or anything. I was talking about how, because of all of the handling of books I've been doing and the organization and rearranging and so on, I am not interested in reading when I'm done for the day, because I'm working at it like 2 or 3 hours a week. I mean, two or 3 hours a day. When I'm done, I'm just like unwinding by listening to podcasts and playing solitaire. Gwen says my TBR team seems to stay at 200. Well, yeah, just kind of like adding, reading. That's nice and whatchamacallit, steady. And Stacy Hoffman says tea, which maybe she's going to spill some. I am currently on a fan fiction ban to whittle down my books a bit, says Ana. Yeah, I was on a library ban, and that's just not true anymore. I don't know if you can see, but all those books up there on that shelf, those are library books. I finished a chonker. I finished Sorrow Hill by Joe Hill. King Sorrow by Joe Hill. I finished that last night or the night before. But that's because it's a library book that has to go back. LOL, says Stacy. This is the first time in months I haven't been reading for a challenge, and it's been nice to just read whatever I want with reckless abandon. Oh, I know. I actually, Lee of Dark Roots Creations, and I can't remember who's co-hosting with her. They're doing a reading challenge or read along. It's very, very chill. It's Nora November, where people are just like, oh, read Nora Roberts in November, one book, many books, whatever. And then to make it a little more fun, it's like, do something that somebody in the book does. Like, it doesn't have to be too elaborate. Like, if they make coffee, make coffee. If they go out for pizza, go out for pizza. If they take the dog for a walk, take the dog for a walk, that kind of thing. So one of the things I'd like to do at some point, I don't know if I'll get to it today, is pull my Nora Roberts books and bring them. They're in the sitting room. I want to bring them into this room so that they're just there and I can grab one whenever I like. Oh, nuts. My books are falling off the cart. Hi, everyone, says Stormy. Hi, Stormy. Nice to see you. I just was hauling some books, and I did get a couple of children's books. I'll show those before we go into the next sprint, because I don't want to run out, because I don't have too many. Great job, says Kristen. That book is huge. I know, it's like 900 pages. I enjoyed it. I actually recorded some of my thoughts about it for the vlog that I'll be posting, whenever. The children's books I got, middle grade, I should say, were 3 more books in the Missing series by Margaret Peterson Haddix. I just want to call her Margaret Preston Haddix. It's not, it's Peterson. I already have Found, I think, is the first book. And I picked up 2. Scent, book 2. Sabotaged, book 3. And Torn, book 4. This is paperback. These 2 are like that No Dust Jacket hardcovers. It would have been nice to get them all the same, but and the one I already have is also a paperback. But that didn't happen. Okay, so I still have some more books to talk about, and what I'm going to do during the sprints is, in my sitting room, I have a bookcase, and I was going to make that my horror bookcase. Cool, says Stormy. Yeah, I like it. I was going to make that my horror bookcase. However, I realized that the horror was not going to fit on it. I'm hoping the science fiction will. The horror needs more space. I'm hoping the science fiction will fit on it. And in aid of that, today I am going to be moving the horror books in here, into this room, and the science fiction books into that room. So I got to go through the books down here to see what science fiction, what isn't. And I've already moved quite a few of the horror books in here. I did that during the 10 minutes of yuck because the dishes didn't take as long as I thought they would. So that's So that's what I'm up to. And like I said, I have some more books to talk about when we come back from the sprint. And yeah, so we'll be sprinting until 5 minutes past the hour. Oh. And I will be listening to the radio, so I will. I forgot to do that on 10 minutes of yuck. But here's the link for my radio station in case you're interested in listening along. And I'll see you in a half an hour. And we're back. And it looks like Megan has joined us, and she says, hello. I finished my 10 minutes of yuck before coming on, cleaning the bathroom, which really wasn't that bad. I've just been putting it off. Well, I mean, 10 minutes of yuck, it doesn't have to be like total gross out. It's just like something you'd rather not do. I mean, I did my lunchtime dishes. They weren't disgusting. They were just like, you know, something I had to do and I didn't really want to do. But it's done now. I had quite the workout. Turns out I had even more horror than I realized. So I decided to take my young adult, because I had my young adult books shelved separately, just all together. And I decided that I will pull my young adult horror and put it and just make that whole shelf nothing but horror. hmm So yeah, that's what I did. And I've just been working on it. It's not terribly pretty at this moment. But I really just want to get the horror books in that corner. And some of them are on the floor and stuff. I want to just get them in that corner. And also Stephen King, whether it's horror or not, because some of this stuff is more like mystery, some of it is uh, fantasy. The Dark Tower series, my personal favorite. Anyway, that's all going to be in that corner. And yeah, so I am not quite there yet in terms of getting all the science fiction in the other room. I also had to take, I had some historical fiction, not historical romance, just historical fiction up there. I had to take that off to make room for all the horror, which is why I decided to go ahead. It wasn't quite enough to completely fill those shelves, so that's why I'm grabbing the YA as well. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the historical fiction. I've got places I could put it. I just need to think about it. So we know that Megan cleaned the bathroom. I don't know if anybody else did anything during the 30 minutes, or Anna says, I read 2 chapters and finished my dishes. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Yeah. In terms of reading books, I don't have it. It's on the other side of the room on my nightstand. I started, after I finished King Sorrow by Joe Hill, I started another chonker. It's over 700 pages, almost 800 pages. However, it is an anthology. It's short stories. And they are short stories set in the world of and inspired by the Stephen King novel, The Stand. And Stephen King himself wrote the introduction, but he did not contribute any fiction to it. Somebody else did the editing and organizing. I've read 3 of the short stories so far. Very much enjoying it. So it's that's what I'm reading, but I wasn't reading it during the sprint because I was moving stuff around. Yeah. And Stormy says, I just finished Failure to Appear by J.A. Jance. Now I will be reading Killing Me Softly by Julie Mulhern, which is Country Club Mysteries number 17. Was Failure to Appear what's the guy's name? Bowman? Beaumont? I don't know. That series by J.A. Jance that you've been reading and really like. My cousin's book was 243 pages, and I read that today. Very nice. I'm feeling good about my reading today. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. I have more books to show if people are interested. Let's see. I found these books and they were Beaumont. That was it. I watched, and Megan says, I watched a YouTube video on reading journal setup while I waited for the sprint to finish. I've been on a reading journal binge. Very nice. I found 3 books that were rubber banded together, and how could I not? Well, it turns out they're part of a series that has 7 books in the main series, plus some 7.5, 3.5, whatever. More books. Yes, book is good. Bring me book. And it turns out that, like I said, there are 7 main novels in the series, and then there are some novellas or whatever. However, it's all on Kindle Unlimited, but I do have the first 3 books in a hardcover now, and that is Edge of Collapse, which is a post-apocalyptic thriller series by Kyla Stone. So I have Edge of Collapse, which is the name of the series as a whole, as well as the name of the first book. And book 2, I think this is Edge of Madness. And book 3 is Edge of Darkness. I like post-apocalyptic thrillers, so yeah, not upset about this at all. Oh, it says Anna, I ordered myself the Disney Villains Happy Planner, and I plan to do some book goals in it as well as my general planning. Nice. So the Disney villains are happy, or the planner is happy, or I just need more stickers, says Anna. Don't we all? And it says, I only have a few Harry Potter stickers and a booklet of Lisa Frank stickers. Again, I can hook you up. I got like a whole bunch of stickers because they're nice enclosures when I send people cards and stuff. So I have a whole bunch. I can send you a card with some stickers in it. Not a problem. So anyway, so that's this series. First 3 books in it. And the rubber bands that wrapped them up. Nice. Very happy about that. Megan says, cool, Anna. LOL, you always need more stickers. Yeah, I mean, why would, yeah, totally. Let's see what else. Oh, phooey. Yes, that was awesome. I like that. I just knocking books on the floor. That's what my day is about. Very productive that way. Old school book nerd Sam is doing a winter reading challenge, and it's like 2 months starting, I think, November. I think it's 2 or 3 months. At least 2, maybe 3. It starts on November 16th. And she has a bunch of different squares. They're like bingo squares to do. And they have different cozy kinds of wintertime things. And one of them is to read a book that has recipes in it. She said it could be a cookbook, or it could be like, you know, a lot of cozy mysteries will have some recipes in it or whatever. Well, I was thinking of that when I was at Newington and I saw this book. This is a novel about food and friendship. It's called The Recipe Club. And it's by Andrea Israel and Nancy Garfinkel. And I think it has like recipes in here. Double date blintzes, Starry Night Scampi, Fitzmitchell's shortbread. And it seems to go over a few years, including 1970. It was published more recently than that, I'm pretty sure. 1970, the year I was born. Copyright 2009. So that has recipes in it. Looks kind of fun. Kristen says, I'm almost halfway through Dating After the End of the World by Jennifer Rose, and all my baking for the day is done. Ooh, if you don't mind telling us what you made. Anna says, I'm looking into expanding my horror thriller collection. I want to collect the King books with colorful spines because I've liked what I've read so far. Nice. Let's see. So I've talked about that one. The Department, a novel by Jacqueline Faber. It's like a thriller. Dude's a college professor. One of his students disappears. And so it's an academic department. It reveals a world through the dual perspectives of Lucia. I think she's the disappeared student. Lucia, as they descend into obsession, delusion, and the dangerous terrain of memory, uncovering the traumas that drive them to behave in ways they never could have predicted or imagined. The Autumn Bride was the book we read for, was that October? Yes, for the Tea and Biscuits book club. Boy, it's already the, 12th of November? I have no idea what we're reading this month. Kristen says, banana bread, pumpkin bread, oatmeal chocolate chip raisin cookies, and ube crinkle cookies. Is it ube? That all sounds really, really good. The ube crinkle cookies, wasn't there a recipe for that in, oh gosh, it was a cozy mystery that was set in and around a Filipino restaurant here in the US. But I can't remember what it was called or the name of the person who wrote it, but there was a recipe for ube crinkle cookies. Anyway, so we read The Autumn Bride last month. Arsenic and Adobo, says Kristen. That's the one. Yes, so we read The Autumn Bride and I enjoyed it, and now I have The Winter Bride. The other books in that series. I'm not sure. I know I for sure wanted to read The Winter Bride. I'm not so sure about the others. It's like I like the characters, but the stories don't necessarily sound like something I'd like. I don't know. Yes, that's the recipe I use, says Kristen. Nice. I do with crinkle cookies. I just do the cake mix ones. And one of the ones I like to do is to take a box of lemon cake mix and a box of strawberry cake mix and mix them, follow the recipe for making crinkle cookies separately. But then as I put the cookies together, I take a little bit of lemon and a little bit of strawberry and kind of mix them, marble them together, and then make the cookie from there. So it's like a strawberry lemon cookie. It's very nice. I like it. Also middle grade or YA. It's James Dashner who wrote The Maze Runner and sequels. 13th Reality. This is an advanced reader copy for a book that I think has been out for a while. What is the release date? March 13th, 2008. Yes, it has been out for a while. And it's like alternate realities and stuff. Very much into that. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Let's see. We have the book I have read, but I'm happy to have my own copy. King of Sloth by Anna Wong. The only one of the Kings of Sin series that I haven't liked so far was King of Greed. I was just like, I felt like his behavior was just a little bit more than I was ready to forgive. I thought she was a little too quick to forgive him. So that wasn't for me. I know a lot of people liked it, a lot of people didn't. So, that's par for the course. Let's see, 2, 4, 6. I only have 7 books left to haul. So I feel like maybe we should have another longer sprint so we can get some more stuff done and still have something to talk about. Well, yeah, have some books to talk about, to play show and tell with. When we're done with that sprint. So let's see. I'm here, Barkity. Hi, Wyoming. Barkity, 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 bark, 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 bark. I was just getting ready to start a sprint. So you got here just in time for us to not be talking anymore for another half an hour. So yes, we're going to do that. We're going to sprint until, let's see. I am very confused right now. We're going to sprint until 50 minutes past the hour, 10 minutes to the next hour. So sprinting until 0050. Let's put in the radio station. At least I made it, says Wyoming. Indeed, you did. Thank you. I mean, if you're super interested, you can always watch back the earlier stuff during the sprint, unless you have stuff to do, in which case, do the stuff. Okay, see you in about a half an hour. And we're back. For me, that 30 minutes really flew by. Let's see. I'm cackling like a crazy person, says Ana. Rhett and Summer have such good chemistry. Why did I ever put this book down? Cries. That is Elsie Silver, is it not? I had to look it up. But and then Megan said, I have to head out. I've got two students to tutor. See you guys tonight, hopefully at the Tea and Biscuits reading sprints. I had forgotten those were tonight. So Megan's gone, but thanks to Megan for reminding me. Because I was like trying to decide if I wanted to do another sprint or what. But if there's Tea and Biscuits tonight, I think I'm gonna finish off the haul and then sign off because that's a lot of live streaming to enjoy in one day. Bye, says Ana. And Wyoming says, I'm at work all night, but I will rewatch tomorrow. I hate missing out on a live show. Yeah, I mean, you can always watch it back. It's not quite the same, but it's not terrible. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about some of the other books I picked up on Saturday. And then we can all scatter to the four winds so that we can just do whatever until the Tea and Biscuits live stream. Okay, maybe it is a good idea that I'm cutting it short. This is the book I was talking about that I have out from the library that's a chonker. This is the short stories by various writers. The End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine. Well, no, it's just The End of the World as We Know It. And the subtitle on this is New Tales of Stephen King's The Stand, edited by Christopher Golden and Brian Keene. And the contributors include Poppy Z. Bright, Colin Kepnes, who wrote You, Meg Gardner, Bev Vincent, C. Robert Cargill, a lot of people, some of whom I've heard of, some of whom I haven't. Richard Chismar, Catriona Ward, various people, Chuck Wendig, Ronald Melfi, and one, S.A. Cosby, one that kind of jumped out to me, Paul Tremblay, Maurice Brodus, but collaborating with Wayne Brady. And yes, that is Wayne Brady, the singer, dancer, actor, improviser dude. So I've read the first three stories, enjoyed them. So I'm looking forward to enjoying the rest of it. Okay, so that's my library book. And then let's see. I found a copy of The Dark Hunter Companion by Sherilyn Kenyon. So as I get into that particular series, I'll have the companion book. Another middle grade, The Clockwork 3 by Matthew Kirby, or actually Matthew J. Kirby. And this is like I don't know, just like enchantments, historical fantasy. I am continuing to expand my Joyce Carol Oates collection. You must remember this. I'm pretty sure I've read, but it's been a long time. Science fiction co-written by Rob Grant and Andrew Marshall. Rob Grant was co-creator of Red Dwarf. It is called the Wanderhorn Experimentations. It's sci-fi comedy. I haven't read it. I found this in the children's room where it did not belong, so I just felt like I had to grab it so that, you know, it wouldn't be purchased by somebody expecting a totally different kind of literary experience. Just Another Missing Person by Gillian McAllister. I've read other books by her and enjoyed them. Haven't read this one yet, and now I can. And just a couple more books here. Both are romances of the contemporary type. From Lukov with Love, Sports Romance by Mariana Zapata. She's kind of a mixed bag for me, but looking forward to it. And Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. They had a copy of this that was like a Deaccession library book, and I was like, okay, I'll take that. And then as I was browsing further, I found a copy that was not a Deaccession library book. It's just a book. So I took that instead of the Deaccession library book. I don't mind Deaccession library books, but generally speaking, if I have a choice, I would rather have one that is not stamped with library things. So those are the books I picked up on a Saturday. I don't know if I have any library sales I want to go to this weekend. I don't think so. I still haven't gone to Penny's Bookshelf in Milford to trade in all of those books I put up in that video. Let's see what's going on this weekend. Right here in my town. I don't have very good luck at my town's library for some reason, so I probably won't go. Roxbury, that's kind of a bit of a schlep. North Brantford, that's not very far, and it's a nice town to go to. There's an Italian deli there that has really good lasagna. Maybe I'll do that. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and call it. Thank you so much for joining me, either in person or watching it back later. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I actually did get a lot done. It's just that it, of course, turned out to be a more complicated thing than I thought it would be. Kristen, if you're still here, I put up that ornament that you sent me, and I'm also wearing the socks. So tiara, socks, ornament. Earlier today, I was burning one of the candles. So, you know, it's a full birthday experience. Cozy as can be. Okay, back, says Stormy. I stacked a little wood, which I was supposed to do it yesterday. Now I'm beat. 61% into Killing Me Softly. Ana says this was fun, and I got nearly to 50% through Flawless. Yay, says Kristen. She is still here. Nice. See you tonight, says Gwen. Yes, yes. I think I'm going to take a nap first. I mean, it's still got a few hours before that. So thank you all again. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week, and more sprints and fun stuff, hopefully. Bye.